Hello, my name is Hannah Cooper, and I'm here to reflect on my advocacy project over the last 7 weeks and talk about some highs and lows and challenges I faced. My initial reaction to the long term project was a lot of overwhelm. I was um, focusing on Seattle Public Schools, and as such a large school district, there are so many problems and very little solutions that people have been trying for a long time to make the school district better for every learner. And I was really overwhelmed trying to just highlight one. My initial focus that I chose was to bridge the gap in achievement and graduations rates altogether between white and black students in the district. But that focus changed when I started talking to teachers in Seattle Public Schools as well as throughout the entire country. I realized that there is a lot that needs to be done from a specific teacher classroom basis that can help uplift students that are furthest from educational justice. And that starts with preparing new to service teachers for tough conversations, conflict, and difficult classroom management that maybe they hadn't learned how to deal with in their teacher education programs. My next steps, which I'll continue with after this project, are really talking to teachers about what they need and what they have seen in their classrooms. I'm focused on urban educators who are teaching in early elementary school. I think the impact of those educators specifically on Black and brown children has a huge impact. The way that you are treated by your teachers early on in your schooling really has an impact on how you view yourself as a student, as a scholar, and school in general. The impact of my project is actually pretty weighty. During this project, I found out that I didn't get into my dream master's program, in which I was using as partially inspiration for this project. So I've had a lot of reflection to do, and I see the impact of teacher education, but also skillful teachers on classrooms. While my future is uncertain, I am able to see teacher education as well as teacher support in a new light. I've always been really interested on curriculum and how to bring abolitionist, anti-racist focus into early education. But I think something that I've learned from this project that I want to focus more on is less of a curriculum focus and more of a teacher bias understanding focus, and less of what is being taught and more of how it's being taught. So the way that culturally responsive teaching can look in a classroom, and especially how it's used in classroom management, I think has more of an impact on learners than what is being taught. I had a difficult time, I'll say infiltrating, but really connecting with advocacy groups in my area. And it showed me that just because you're passionate about something does not mean that you are granted access into that advocacy organization. I think education, we all want to help, but not every organization is interested in, everyone helping. And that's affected my view on where I stand in education. I am not gaining access into my master's program that I was hoping to, but I see what I can do in the future as an educator. I also see different paths, because While I want to be a classroom educator and an early elementary teacher, I also see that there are a lot of gaps in support that students receive. I think administration is lacking in a lot of schools, especially urban schools. I also see that at a district level, there's a lot of blindness, if that makes any sense, that's happening, where we focus on large issues, but we don't see the minutia, which is really important, as I mentioned, with classroom management tactics, especially for new teachers. So I see what I need to do as a future educator, and I also see the problems that I noted week one in a much different way. And I would say if I had to do this project differently, I wouldn't, but I have learned a lot about myself and about teacher education.